At one point last season, I was on the field, and Chris Cuthbert, the TSN broadcaster and one of the universally respected guys in the business, came up to me and he said, "How come you're not doing Bad Hotel Coffee Chat anymore?" And there were a lot of reasons why, but the fact that Chris Cuthbert missed somehow Hotel Coffee Chat, although he didn't say he missed it, he just wondered why I wasn't doing it. So maybe he didn't miss it, but he seemed to indicate that he missed it. So, or I took it as he missed it. So because of Chris Cuthbert, I've decided, at least for CFL week, to resume my old series, Bad Hotel Coffee Chat. One of the reasons why I stopped doing it, to be quite honest, is that I don't stay in hotels as much as I used to. And part of that is that I've sort of adapted the Airbnb lifestyle, for lack of a better word, if it's a lifestyle. In part just because I think it's a more comfortable way to travel. It's often more affordable. And in some cases with 3 Down, there's been several of us traveling. In the case of CFL week, there's actually going to be 3 or 4 of us here. Justin Dunk obviously is here, and then a couple of guys that are contributors wanted to come as well. So, obviously staying in a hotel room with a bunch of guys, probably not ideal. And so basically for the same price, in fact for less than it would have cost just me to stay in a hotel, I can rent a pretty nice place in Winnipeg for the week, and it works out amazing. So anyway, this is Bad Hotel Coffee Chat, except it's pretty good Airbnb coffee, but that doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Anyway, so yes, we're in Winnipeg for CFL week, and we were at the gala last night for the CFL Hall of Fame, and that's one of those events where it's $200 to go if you're a member of the public, and that's a lot of money, I think, for some CFL fans, and it'd be a lot of money for me to invest in an event like that. But it was a really great evening, I have to say. I think it was the Bombers who put it on in a lot of respects, in conjunction with the CFL Hall of Fame. Sorry, the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, I should say. But it was a very well-run event. It was very high-end and professional, and it was I was really impressed by it, quite honestly. And there were a lot of interesting people there. There were a number of general managers. I saw Ed Hervey and Jim Pop. Wally Buono was there. Brock Sunderland was there. There was a number of current and former players. Alex Singleton was there. I saw a bunch of Hall of Famers. Doug Brown was there. G. Roy Simon. And in that setting, after the event was over, all those guys were just sort of hanging out, having a few cocktails and chatting. And if you were a fan, you would have the ability to talk to those people. And I just think it's one of those events that if you pay the money, not only do you get to go to the Hall of Fame thing and see the people announced, but you get sort of access to other folks around the CFL in a different way that you might normally. That's all. In terms of the inductees themselves, I think this class doesn't have the same maybe star power that Anthony Calvillo went in last year, right? And Mike O'Shea and G. Roy. So those are guys I think with really high profiles. Certainly Scott Flory, Brent Johnson, Hank Olisic, Baron Miles, great players, not necessarily the same sort of household names, for lack of a better word, than some of the guys from last year. Still, a great class, and good guys, right? Good interviews. There'll be some really good writing from some of those journalists here. I think just some it's a great way to sort of contextualize a guy's career, and talk about his impact, how it affected his life. After not sort of writing about a guy like Brent Johnson or Scott Flory for a few years, it's nice to be able to sort of recontextualize their careers in some respects. And that's the other thing about CFL week. A lot more journalists here this week from different markets. Last year, quite limited in terms of the number of people that were actually here from other media markets. This year, more. Herb Zurkowski from the Montreal Gazette's here. Danny Austin from Calgary is here. Terry Jones from the Edmonton Journal is here. There's a few others, quite frankly, that I don't want to say surprised to see, but there's more media here than there was last year from around the league, which is an indication that news organizations and reporters, I think, are recognizing that last year had some value to be there, and coming would be good. So interesting. Still tough to get a feel on how CFL Week's going to go this week, given that it's only day 2. But I think so far so good. Yeah, we'll remain optimistic until proven otherwise. And the coffee better than the hotel coffee. And thanks, Chris. Good idea.